Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This time it's a little bit different. I am gonna do a little tutorial, but it's more of me speaking on this friggin' coronavirus. If you wanna see how I achieved this look, this simple little beat with a bold lip, and also hear my thoughts on this whole COVID-19 stuff, stay tuned. My first step is going to be applying my primer. I'm actually going to use this sunscreen by Supergoop. This is the Glow Screen SPF 40 sunscreen. I really like this because not only is it SPF, so it's going to protect my hyperpigmentation from deepening. It also has like a subtle glow to it, so it kind of gives like an illuminating base, and it's like vegan, cruelty-free, not any harsh chemicals that are going to break me out any further, so we're here for it. Okay, so I've primed my face. My next step is going to be priming my lips. They are hella dry, so I'm going to go in with this Fenty Beauty lip balm. I totally forgot that I wanted to talk about the coronavirus during this tutorial, and not really about product. You know, you'll get a lot of that from me, so I kind of wanted to focus this little tutorial on corona. I don't even know what day it is. I don't even know what day of like isolation or quarantine this is, to be honest. I do believe we're going on to 2 weeks of this whole thing. I am in Canada, if you don't know that, specifically in the GTA, the city of Brampton. It's crazy because it's really a ghost town out here. The stores have shut down. For example, you know, I work at Sephora. What Sephora online is still up and running, but it's crazy because we have grocery stores running out of food because people are like buying in bulk because they're scared. Yeah, it's pretty insane, to be honest. From what I'm understanding, you know, coronavirus, the name even corona stands for like crown. And I'm not no doctor. I'm not saying that this is facts. I'm just saying what's going on in my brain. The term corona stands for like crown, which means it's like a head, like flu, and there's like subcategories. So I guess that's why they renamed it to COVID-19. Who knows how it really started? They do say they know what geographical location it started at. I feel like the government has it completely backwards. They work for us, not the opposite. It's clearly showing that, you know, they don't give a fuck about their people. This is why it's important to vote for sure, because we give them the power to represent us. And if the wrong person is in power who in fact doesn't really care to doesn't care to represent you, or cares about your life or your ancestors' lives or your future generations' life, then you really can't expect much. The economy is poo-poo, but what is new? Money is basically monopoly money. People are not only losing jobs, but they're losing their lives. I'm trying to, you know, be involved as much as I can and, you know, do my part as a citizen, I guess, of this place, and social distance and isolation, and just, you know, continuing my cleanly acts. At the same time, I don't want to feed into the media propaganda because there's a lot of it and it's really hard to determine what's real, what's fake news, like, you know. I would say for fact, I know that there's something going on, okay? The hospitals are filled with sick people, so it clearly has to do with something health related. People are catching something. Do I know where it really came from? No. Do I know if it was an accidental spread? No. Do I know if they have a cure or not? No, but I do know people are suffering and dying from it. I honestly feel like it's bringing out the best and the worst of people, which is what world, you know, pandemics do. The cons that it's bringing out of people is that some people really don't know how to be alone. People don't know how to be by themselves, you know? and enjoy their own company. The length that people will go to for attention is like pretty wild. Like we knew that, but like self-isolation brings that out more in people. I'd say some more cons is that it's really bringing out the paranoia in people as well. It's really showing how many people are invested and get their whole life from what the government says. A lot of robots basically out here. I would say some pros is that, especially for myself, this self-quarantine isolation period has allowed me to do things that I feel like I felt like I never had time to. For example, creating more content like this, being able to, you know, talk to some family members that, you know, I haven't talked to in a minute, or even some friends, like, you know, whether it be like a text. It's kind of like I'm being more mindful because I don't have so many people around me. I'm being more mindful of, like, you know, the people I care about and the people that I love. I feel like I'm also able to dive into my thoughts more. I feel like I'm gonna leave this quarantine with a whole new perspective and appreciation for life and freedom, I guess. I'm also really, really happy and grateful that, you know, I'm a party animal and, you know, I don't really miss a party. So although everything's shut down, I feel like I've partied enough that I could last a few months without it. Like, it's crazy, but it's not crazy, because I don't know how many of you have read up on that history book we call the Bible, but there's a lot of prophecies that kind of warn you about days like this. I grew up in the church, so, you know, always heard about prophecies and, you know, have lived long enough, I'm 25, to see certain prophecies even be fulfilled. But I feel like this type of situation that's happening, it's like I never expected it in my 25 years of living. I never really, you know what I mean? It doesn't hit you until it hits you and you're like, oh, this is real. This is not a movie. This is not a drill. You know, the world is going to shits. I love how this whole COVID-19 situation has also put emphasis on the people who are actually in the battlefields. It's one thing to idolize a celebrity or an influencer and be like, oh my God, like, you know, what they say makes or breaks my day, or they have so much influence. But no, because while everyone is panicking, while people are getting sick, while all of this is going on, they're in their multi-billion-dollar homes with movie theaters and everything, and not shitting on them because if they worked hard to get it, they deserve to live in that luxury. Like, that's goals. Next international pandemic that's going on, best believe my bunker is gonna be my lit-ass multi-billion-dollar crib. It's really crazy how, you know, we have our health professionals and, you know, our grocery clerks and people who, you know, people don't really respect or blink an eye to on the regular day or idolize, are the ones really in the battlefield going in for us. Shout out to everyone out there. I know my mom's out there working her butt off in this pandemic, going crazy, but thank you so much for putting humanity first when you could so have been like, F this shit. Another positive that I'm taking away from this is that people who didn't take cleanliness seriously before, if you needed this reminder that cleanly hands, cleanly lives matter, then goddamn, it's a blessing in disguise. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it and we're gonna move forward and be the cleanest we have ever been. I think it's Shanghai. Apparently their streets are crazy clean, so hopefully we emerge from this looking like Shanghai .2. Nothing is gonna be the same after this. The economy, like what economy, jobs, government, like this changes everything. And I feel like this also just reminds us how connected we are. Like, you know, people are hearing that, you know, it started in this place and what? It's here. People travel, like we're meant to travel. So we affect each other more than we think. Obviously, not only do we affect each other, we affect the earth. Doing. So many reports have shown that places are so much clearer, like water is clearer, animals are thriving, all this great stuff ever since we've been like in our homes, which I feel like is a super huge note. Like, we just got to take it easy. Another huge report, we have girls out here doing makeup to stay inside. That must mean that they're not doing makeup for you dudes out there. Come on now. Come on. You think I'm using my Hourglass Veil Translucent powder finely milled with crystal bead diamonds in it for you? Boy, can we also talk about how the government just pulled out like trillions of dollars out of their asses to help us? Like, out of their asses. I'm not saying millions. I'm not saying billions. I said trillions out of their asses. It's just so disgusting. If it's not benefiting them, oh my God, I'm getting like really upset. If it's not benefiting them or feeding in their pockets or their generational friggin' wealth, then they don't give a shit. But now that they've realized like, oh shit, the lower end people, they affect us, they're affecting us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need them to survive. Like, we need to give them. It's just disgusting. Like, I see the way my mom's panicking, and you know, she's been on this earth for what, like 50 plus years, and she doesn't play this shit. Like, she's like, I'm not trying to go early. Like, you know, her immune system is clearly not as strong as mine, so she's out here masked, gloved up, and I just like have to think, you know, she's getting older. It's making me really sad to see our elderly people, like, as the years progress, not catch a break. It just like gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm really trying my best to, you know, be an example and keep in mind that it's not just about me. Like, if I can feel like whatever, like I'm immune to this shit, like I'm booming, but there's people who aren't. And you know what I mean? Like, I come home to my mom, I come home, you know, to other people, and I just have to be mindful of that. So I'm just encouraging you guys to be mindful as well. In the same breath, let's keep it a non-judgment zone too, in a way. Like, yeah, everyone's free to judge, but I feel like someone sees someone with their like best friend in a video and they're like, oh my God, social distancing, and it's like, all right, okay. If you really feel that way, then you don't have to be near that person. If you feel like, oh my God, they're infected, you don't really have to like social distance shame them. Like, read a book, do something productive. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. We just gotta get our priorities straight. We gotta get the people who represent us in government straight. Oh my goodness gracious. We need to get our health straight. There's just a lot of stuff we need to do. And this coronavirus whole thing has definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things that I need to be doing better. If you thought I was outside before, oh baby, when we outside this summer or whenever we're finally allowed outside, girl, I don't even think I'm coming back in. No, but really, guys, like, I'm ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I have all this liquor over here, but it's just not the same when you're in four walls by yourself, you know, lit. Oh, I put it on a lot of blush. Oh, baby. But I'm ready. I'm ready to shake my bomb, shake my bomb, you know, and just vibes and, you know, just interact and socialize again. No, but honestly, nah, they gonna keep me inside for too long. I might not know how to go back out. I might just turn into a permanent homebody after this. And currently I'm not too mad at the idea because there really ain't shit out there. So I read somewhere that there's like two ways to get this coronavirus under control. The first way is by creating a vaccine, maybe not to completely kill it, but to help with immunity. And you want to know the second way that article said will help corona? It said basically, let every mofo, let every person catch the disease. Basically, right? We're on some Hunger Games shit. Let every man catch the disease and build immunity. So if you catch it and you die, it's like, shit, sorry, you're dead. But if you catch it and you recover from it, then that's gonna help build immunity in your community for the virus. But the whole crazy thing is, they don't even know if this certain strain of the virus can be recaught. Like, you know, there's been a few cases where people have recovered from it, but they don't know if those people can recatch it. Let's take a moment to talk about this mascara, baby. Like, definition. She's here. She's present. We love. The scary thing is, I would say maybe December, November times, I remember like catching this really, really, really dirty cold, right? It like had me out like a light. Like I was calling into work being like, I cannot even survive. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it through this morning, let alone be able to come and apply makeup and be like, hey, how's it going? Like, great lipstick color. Like, no, fam. I'm dying. And I was just seeing a few like posts talking about, yo, like this thing has been out there, and you know, if you were feeling this type of way during those months, like chances are it could have been like the beginning stages. And personally, I could see that. I'm just grateful and thankful that I'm still here, because you know, anytime anyone gets sick, like, you know what I mean? It's a scary sight. There's so many other things other than this flu that we need to be mindful of. You know, like that's just one aspect of it. Like that's one physical aspect. But like, what about your spiritual health? You know, like what about your connection with the divine? What about your connection with the earth and everything? Like people don't really care about it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, personally, a spiritual death is worse than any coronavirus. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know the Most High that I serve, and you know, who watches over me and who wakes me up in the morning and who gives me my blessings, and I have complete faith and trust in that higher power, that I am not going to be shook and dismissed into a state of fear and panic that it just makes me lose myself, lose my faith, because there's no coincidence. This is all a part of the plan. So I'm just here, another chess piece, waiting for the next move, you know, trying to do my part humbly. And yeah, honestly, who and what shall I fear when I know, you know, the Most High is near? That's not a scripture, but there is a scripture basically saying when you walk with the Most High, you don't fear anything. And I know he's brought us out of Egypt many times. You know what I mean? He loves his people. He just wants us to just like look at our ways, look at the way we're treating this earth, each other. He just wants us to like reevaluate, pause and reevaluate our lives and remember what's important, who's important, you know, who you are. Because this world, man, I'm telling you, if you wait for anyone to define you, they'll pick the worst definition, okay? So yeah, you know, I'm just here, staying humble, making some content, just trying to catch up on things that I feel like, you know, I missed out on because life moves so fast. I'm taking this as kind of like a cocoon, like a hibernation, a rejuvenation, you know, recharge. that is much needed, because you know, how are you supposed to help people? How are you supposed to inspire and give positive energy to if you have none, right? Please comment below shows or books that you've really been enjoying during this time. Some shows that I've recently gotten into. I finished Love is Blind. Very, very, very interesting show. I recommend everyone to watch it. I actually just started The Circle, which is a show on Netflix. Very, very interesting. It really breaks down like social media popularity, like catfish, just like, I find that human experiments and stuff are amazing, because who better to learn from than like yourself, basically, you know, seeing yourself in other people and seeing their experiences really helps with self-growth, okay? I also started this show called The Outsiders with my niece, but she like friggin' went and finished it. Aaliyah. That's a really good show. I'm on like episode 2. Like, I'm not really a Netflix girl. Like, I don't really have time to watch shows, but because of this whole quarantine thing, I've been finding myself on Netflix being like, ooh, like, what's this? Oh, this is what they were talking about. Like, like, you know? So that's been pretty cool, because I kind of feel like I'm in the loop, you know, with Netflix and shit. I hope you guys have really been enjoying, you know, getting ready with me, seeing this little tutorial as I talk about this whole COVID-19 shit. It's not something I really do, but again, because I have so much time, I'm just trying out all this new content, seeing what works, you know, how you guys are feeling. So please, please, please like and comment below if you like what you're seeing, if you want to see more of it. I'm out here like red or red. They're just two different finishes. I don't know which one to choose. I feel like I should go for matte. I'm gonna go for matte. I feel like another great point and pro to this whole situation is the emphasis and the, you know, the bringing to the forefront, if we didn't know already, how important like eating holistically is. I swear I've lost like 20 pounds because I'm not out here eating like a crazy person. Like, comment below if you're like me and you eat with your eyes instead of your stomach, which is totally bad, by the way, okay? And when I say that type of shit, it just like lets me even see my privilege. Like, there's people who can't even afford to eat with their, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this even whole thing, it's like it puts a lot of things in perspective, things that, you know, you may have known, but it just kind of gets pushed in the background because of like our daily lives. Like, you know what I mean? There's people who can't afford to be in this type of crisis. So just being mindful of that. All right, folks. So this is my little look, complexion, bold lips to match the font on my top, which you can't see. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Emphasis on subscribe so you don't miss out when I drop some new content, because I promise you guys, I have so much more to come. Thank you for stopping by. I hope during this time that you guys are staying safe, positive, you know, in tune, and just loving, you know. I hope this brings out the best in you, the best in the people around you, and that we all come out of this just 10 times better. Much love. Peace.